So in this module, we will look at how federal and provincial bureaucracies deal with it and how their division is hampering the effort of the government and even the effort to increase the social welfare of the government. So Pakistan is a federation, as we know. There is one federal government and 4 provincial governments. And each government has its own bureaucracy. So there are federal bureaucracy and then there are 4 provincial bureaucracies. Article 240 of the Constitution of Pakistan, 1973 Constitution, deals with these, the appointment and recruitment of people in provinces, in federation and provinces. So it says that subject to the Constitution, the appointment to and conditions of the services of the persons in the service of Pakistan shall be determined by an act of Parliament in case of federal government and by the act of provincial assemblies in case of provincial services. From colonial times, the central bureaucracy is dominant and the provincial bureaucracies are subservient. This is not the case in all federations. In many federations, like for example Canada and the US, the provincial services are in control at least in their own states and provinces. So federal dominance is not as clear-cut as it is in Pakistan. In colonial times, why federal service was dominant? Because most of the federal services was manned by Britishers. So the Britishers, because they were part of the federal service, and most of the provincial services was manned by local people, local Indians. So most of the power was with these Britishers because it was a colonial structure. But after Pakistan was formed independent, this should have been changed, but it has not changed. So if you look at the federal bureaucracy, there are 3 types of recruitment. Recruitment through 2 types by Federal Public Service Commission, which recruits the CSS, Central Superior Services, and other professionals. And then there are lower cadres which are recruited by the ministries and divisions themselves. The basic pay scales is from 1 to 22, which is also previously called grades. So CSS is the types of federal bureaucracy. In case of CSS, we have different groups like Custom, Police, Pakistan Administrative Services, Pakistan Inland Revenue Service, which is taxation. In case of professionals, the FPSC recruits doctors for federal government hospitals, engineers for like PWD, and professors for universities in federal government or colleges of federal government. In case of provincial governments, we have similar type of structure. There is this Punjab Public Service Commission. Similarly, we have Sindh Public Service Commission and KP Public Service Commission. So they have their own provincial service, which is recruited by in an exam by the PPSC. And then there are other professionals which are recruited by the PPSC, like doctors, engineers, and others. And then there are lower, usually lower ranks that are recruited by the departments themselves. Again, the pay scales are similar, so 1 to 22. The types of provincial services are PMS, Provincial Management Service, and PCS, Pakistan Provincial Civil Service. And then there are professional cadres, and then there is the clerical or lower staff. What is happening currently now is that one part of federal service, which is Pakistan Administrative Service, which was previously called District Management Group and previously called the Pakistan Civil Service. So they dominate. So most of the secretaries, federal secretaries, are from that cadre. Most of the additional secretaries in federal government are that cadre. In provinces also, all the chief secretaries, almost all the provincial secretaries, and almost all the provincial additional provincial secretaries are from this group. Even at the local level, most of the commissioners and deputy commissioners are from that group. So this group dominates local, provincial, and federal level. Only this group has only around 1,000 people, but it dominates the whole country, all the bureaucracy, all the civil service. So how they manage that? They have this control on establishment division and provincial services and general administration departments. These are the departments which manage the promotions and transfers of the civil service, of the bureaucracy. So, of course, they help their own cadre and they are in control there and in transfers and promotions. The provincial bureaucrats never rise to 22, almost no exception. They are recruited like the federal bureaucrats in 17 but retire in BPS 20 or 21. Similar is the case of other federal services like custom and income tax. Most of the officers that are recruited at 17 pay scale, they retire at 20 or 21 pay scale. So only the PAS goes to the last or the highest grade, which is the 22 grade, and so all the jobs are with the provincial administrative service. There is resentment at the provincial level in all the four provinces against the federal bureaucracy, against the provincial, the Pakistan Administrative Service. There have been strikes. There have been cases in the High Court and the Supreme Court. But PAS has been very powerful. They have access to even to judiciary. So previously, even many of the DMG or PAS went to become Supreme Court judges. For example, Justice Colonial, who was the Supreme Chief Justice of Pakistan, he came from this service. And we can see that the power of the Pakistan Administrative Service, that they have reversed the Musharraf local government ordinance 2001, which was very good for the local government. And they have also reversed the Balochistan A and B division, which was also good for the law and order in the Balochistan. Thank you.